Okay, now the last couple of sections of this chapter, we've gone, through some detail about how to begin analyzing financial statements, and now the question is, well, where do you find financial statements? And publicly traded companies, right? So any company that you can find on the stock market and buy their stock, have to publicly share their financial reports. And their financial reports would have the same kind of information in them that we've been looking at in these textbook examples, but they look a lot different. Right, so what I want to do just real quick is show you what an annual report looks like. So I'm looking at Apple here. So if you go to their investor relations page, right, you see their quarterly earnings data, and you can see their what's called 10K. 10K is an annual report. So if we look at the 2020 10K, okay, it's 105 pages long. Okay, and there's a glossy and attractive example of this as well, but this is literally a Form 10K that is filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission for Apple. And if you look at the table of contents here, it's all hyperlinked, and it contains a number of different components to it in addition to the actual financial statements. So if we go, let's see, all the way down here, item 8 is the financial statements. Okay, but they talk about risk, they talk about selective financial data, various disclosures and other information. But if we go, like I said, down here to chapter 8, or item 8, we can look at the financial statements. Okay, and so you'll see, here's the index to the financial statements, and you will notice that nowhere do we see income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, right? What we see is consolidated statement of operations, consolidated statement of comprehensive income, consolidated balance sheets from this year and last year, statement of shareholders' equity, and statement of cash flow, right? So let's just quickly look at their balance sheet. Okay, and it is laid out very similarly to what we see in the textbook. Now, there's a little bit more detail in the stockholders' equity section. Common stock and additional paid-in capital at 1/10 of a penny par value, 1/100th of a penny par value, right? 50 million shares. Okay. And again, the statement of equity is quite a bit more detailed than what we've seen. But in its overall, right, we have common stock and additional paid-in capital. So they went and got more stock. They started with $70,000 in retained earnings, ended up with 45, right? So it looks like they've been losing money. If we go up to the income statement, here's our income statement. In 2020, their income was 57 billion, slightly down from 2019. So you see, these statements do give you the same information as is in a textbook, but the textbook examples are obviously much more, which I guess you'd say simplified. And probably later in the semester, we'll go through and do some analysis on real companies, real financial statements. I also want to note that they tell you in the last section of this chapter is how to find all companies' financial statements. So to get to Apple's, we just went to Apple's website to their investor relations page. You can also go into the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, and within the SEC, there is this, what's it stand for? The Electronic Data Gathering Analysis and Retrieval System, EDGAR, right? And so you can look up Apple that way, right? And so this gets you into Apple's various reports that they file. And if you wanted to go find the 10K from 2020, you just scroll through. And obviously, they report a lot more to the SEC than they would necessarily report directly on their investment relations page, right? You can also get a feed into your email inbox or into an RSS reader so you can keep up with what their filings are in real time. And the other thing is, if you want to get company information, Yahoo Finance is actually another really good source, and it's right. So it provides the information in a little bit more digestible way, right? So it gives you their stock price over time in a nice little graph here, and it gives you a little bit more information about the company as well. So that is pretty much all we need to have to say about financial statements. That was a lot. Most of your homework is going to be around calculating cash flows. So have fun with it. Yeah, that's it.